My name is Jeff Caja.
I'm Shelby Linder.
My name is John Telepak.
Hi, my name's Christina Rivera.
Hello, I'm Heidi.
I'm Sophie Matos.
My name is Kevin Klein.
I have a very close-knit family, and especially my siblings. I have an older sister and a younger brother. Except for 1 year, I was 14 or 15. It was a little weird because she was studying abroad, and she wasn't around, so I felt like this absence, or just like this void. So I really wanted Xbox, just something to fill the time. All my friends were getting an Xbox. And the one thing I wanted, I would have to go over to my friends to play or something. I don't know, it made sense at the time. And it was Christmas Eve, and I was going to bed thinking like, okay, I really hope I get this. And all of a sudden there's like this jumping on my bed, and I turn the lights on, and it's my sister. She came home and surprised us. And she was home for just a week, but I got to spend Christmas with her and my brother. And I didn't get the Xbox that year, but it was the best surprise Christmas gift I've gotten.
I was about 8 or 9 years old, and I was desperate for a pink and gray 10-speed. Like every day, I was asking Santa to bring this bike to my house. So Christmas Eve came, and we always went to my dad's side of the family, and we had this big Christmas party. We would get home at like 2 o'clock in the morning, and I was, of course, shoot off to my room so that I could go to sleep so that Santa would come. And so I'm laying there, and I knew that I could hear elves in the living room. I just knew it. So it was probably 4:30 in the morning, and I got up and I tiptoed down the hallway, and I looked into the living room. And you know how on Christmas morning, the Christmas lights are just a little brighter. There's just this glow about them. And I look in the living room, and lo and behold, there is this pink and gray 10-speed bicycle sitting there with a big bow on it from Santa himself, which I thought was extremely magical because we always had this wood burner stove in our living room that had this skinny black pipe going from the ceiling to the inside of the stove. How do you get that bike in there? I don't know, but I thought it was magic. And ever since then, I always see a little bit of magic in the world.
I like spending time with my family and friends during Christmas. My mom, she hides like this Christmas pickle in the tree, and then my two brothers and I, we have to go find it in the tree.
I would like to tell you about my two very favorite Christmas presents I ever got. One was a story that my daughter wrote when she was about 10, and she typed it up. It was about 8 pages long. It was a beautiful story about a family in the Depression. Very feeling and wonderful story, and it just brought me to tears when I read it. It was very sweet, and she wrote a story for my husband too. And another favorite gift was from my son, who when he was 7 years old, he made this thing out of, I think they're called K-necks, little interlocking blocks that are smaller than like the Mega Blocks and the what's that thing called? Smaller than Legos, but they interconnect. And he made me this wonderful thing that had like a handle on it. Basically, what it is, it's like a Swiffer, a really long Swiffer, and then he put a dust cloth on the end, and he's like, "Mom, this will make it a lot easier for you to clean." So those were my two favorite presents I've ever had.
When I was probably 7 or 8, I had my suspicions about the big guy coming down the chimney. And the next year, I was kind of over it. I figured it out, the jig was up. And so instead of being let down that Christmas, I actually got to have the most exciting next probably 4 Christmases, because my sister is almost 5 years younger than me. So I got to help be Santa for her. It was either getting to stay up really late or, mom sneaking in and waking me up quietly and getting to help my parents do that for her. And that was really, really exciting because you get to do this secret thing for someone, and it was really fun. So that was my favorite part of Christmas.
I think the things I remember most is when I was a kid and we, at my church, growing up, we had a Christmas Eve service every year. And it was always like Christmas carols and stuff like that. And it always ended with a candle lighting thing. And it was really funny because we kind of talk about stuff like this in the show, but like, it's just like the candles would just sort of fill the church, and everybody would kind of move to the side, and everybody would sing, and it would just be dark in the church except for these hundreds and hundreds of candles, and it was just always really cool. And then like we'd come home, usually watch a Christmas movie. Like one year I remember it was Babes in Toyland, the old Annette Funicello one, or A Christmas Story, or something like that. And we'd open one present, usually like pajamas or slippers or something like that, and then go to bed. So that was our Christmas Eve, and I always liked Christmas Eve.
My mother worked downtown Cleveland at a store called the May Company, and I was old enough to ride down there on the rapid transit by myself on a Friday night after school, and I went down and met her, and we had dinner at a lunch counter at a W.T. Grant's, which is a store sort of like an F.W. Woolworth. But the real excitement for me at Christmas was we would leave our lunch counter, where we probably had hamburgers and fries, and walk down Euclid Avenue and go down to East 13th Street and Euclid Avenue to my favorite store. I wasn't big on Santa Claus or Mr. Jingling, but Christmas to me was the Sterling Linder Christmas tree, which those of you old enough to remember it, you walked in the store, it was 50 feet high, and it had ornaments on the bottom of it that were as big as basketballs. And to a 9 or 10-year-old kid staring up at that tree, that's when I knew it was Christmas, when I saw that tree.